Welcome to Ignite IAS. I'm Priyadarshini, teaching newspaper analysis and history at Ignite IAS from the past 3 years. So let's directly get into the topic. What is meant by history? We all have a misconception that history is all about factual information and you have to memorize lot many kings' names and the wars they fought and the authors, books and many other things. So it's completely like factual information. But literally I'm telling you that history is much more beyond the factual information. Let's directly get into the topic through a mains answer. Recently in UPSC 2024, there was a question, you can see here on the screen, underline the changes in the field of society and economy from Rigvedic to later Vedic period. We all know that when we read about the Rigvedic period and later Vedic period, we'll be concentrating on what? The years. Rigvedic period is from 1500 to 1000 BC. And later Vedic period is from 1000 BC to 600 BC and all these things. But do you think that with this factual information you can write that answer? The question is about the changes. I'll tell you one best example by taking the society. In Rigvedic society, the first point, how the society was stratified. It means that how the society was classified in Rigvedic period. They asked about the changes, right? From Rigvedic period to later Vedic period, I am underlining some changes. How in Rigveda, the society was horizontally divided. That is as Brahmins, Kshatriyas and Vaishyas. It means that you can see how I drawn the boxes, that is arrow with two pointeds. It means that a Vaishya person can become a Kshatriya next day and a Brahmin can also become a Vaishya. It is based on occupation. So if the person, a particular person is dealing with rituals and sacrifices or he was educating certain people, then that person can be considered as a Brahmin. And if the other person is trying to protect the whole tribal people or involving in wars, then the person can be called as Kshatriya. And the other works can be considered as, the person who is doing the other works can be considered as Vaishya. You can see that based on occupation, the society was stratified, but it was stratified horizontally. Vaishya, today if the Vaishya was performing certain metallurgy work, then tomorrow, if the same person was defending the tribal people, then the same person earlier who was Vaishya, today will become the Kshatriya. It means that if you switch your occupation, you can also change your position in the society, that is Brahmins, Kshatriyas and Vaishyas. This was during the Rigvedic period. Coming to the later Vedic period, the society was divided vertically. Brahmins, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and a new category of the people came, that is Shudras. Yes, and here I'm just telling you that the arrow will be only towards downward because a Brahmin by birth will become a Brahmin. A Brahmin who is defending the country will not become a Kshatriya. The person by birth will be decided to which section of the society the person belongs to. A Kshatriya will become a Kshatriya by birth, not through occupation. So you can see the changes in the society. In history, we all know that it is all about factual information and you have to write about the facts and everything. Do you just understand here that did I mention any factual information here? It's not. So history is not merely about the factual information, it is about understanding the changes in the society, changes in the political things, economical, social and cultural things. So dealing with the next question, you can see that what were the events that led to Quit India movement and point out its results. While we are reading history, what will concentrate is Quit India movement took place in 1942 and it was started for this and these are the events which took place. We will be reading about the event only, but you can see that the question what they asked, what were the events that led to Quit India movement? It means that they were asking for causes or reasons for the emergence of the Quit India movement. And they were also asking like results. Do you consider, many of the colonial historians consider Quit India movement as failure. because It was started in 1942, but we got independence in 1947, so Quit India was failed. But it's not here. In results, in history, nothing is like two extremes. It's not win or it's not defeat. What we have learned from Quit India movement and what was its impact on future things, that have to be written in the results. So all these things is not merely about the factual information. So come out of the misconception that history is all about factual information. And coming to the next question, this was also asked regarding the Cholas. Yes, here they asked about like Cholas were no more, but still we remember the contribution of Cholas in terms of art and architecture. We all know that we visit many number of temples, particularly in South India like Gangaikonda Cholapuram, Tanjavur temple and many other temples which were built by Cholas. And all these things you can see here, Nataraja figure. Yes, recently in G20 summit, a Nataraja figure was displayed in front of the G20 summit which was held in India last year. So this was also the Nataraja temple, whatever the art the sculpture we are seeing, that was the contribution given by the Cholas. So from current affairs also you can write your history. So it's not all about factual information. So in Ignite, how we gonna deal history is something which you never get in books, that is for sure. First of all, we will divide the history subject into some modules. Anywhere, any history we're gonna read like this, but it will be divided among the years like ancient, medieval, modern, world and post-independence. These are the modules we are going to deal in history. Ancient, medieval and modern, these three things will also be covered in your intermediate sessions. And coming to the degree 3 years plan, ancient, medieval and modern will be from your degree first year and degree second year. You'll be upgoing these topics, and world history and post-independence will be covered in your degree third year. So these are the modules we are going to cover at Ignite IAS. Then how we are going to deal with the subject? First of all, as I told you that we will be guiding you regarding the sources. It's not only literary sources or which book you have to read, literary sources and archaeological sources. We will divide each topic like Indus Valley civilization, Cholas or Pallavas or all these things will be divided into political, economical, social and cultural. Just now we have seen the question that if you read the topics like this, you can see that underline the changes in the field of society and economy. You can, if we deal this topic, in Rig Veda we'll be reading the society topic, in later Vedic you'll be reading the society topic. Then you have to write what were the changes in the society of the Rig Veda and society of the later Veda. So this is how we deal with history. And most probably we miss the important criteria to learn history is maps. Particularly you will be reading, like when you are reading about the Vedas time period, you will be thinking that the Vedas will be applied for whole Indian subcontinent. It's definitely not. The Vedas map will be approximately only up to here. So how can you apply this Vedas to the whole Indian subcontinent? So if you understand all these things, we will understand how our present society is, how our caste system emerged, and how the concept of the Gotra emerged, and what was the concept of Sufism, and what was the concept of Bhaktism. All these concepts which were ongoing presently. Even we know that there are many issues which were ongoing in the current affairs, like Babri Masjid issue and Gyanvapi Mosque issue, and many other issues are going on. You can link all those points to your history by reading in this way. Political, economic and social, cultural, you can deal with any question for sure. And we will also teach you how to make notes, and we will guide you regarding your previous year questions. For intermediate, we will be dealing with only prelims mode questions like MCQs, multiple choice questions will be dealt for the intermediate students. But for degree students, we will also include mains answer writing skills along with the notes making. So you can see that here just now I told you that how we will be dealing with the maps. This is the Indus Valley civilization. We visualize all this on the board, and whatever the visualizations we have, we will be showing all you this, and we will guide you regarding IVC. If you study about the IVC, immediately you have to recall where the IVC is and what am I reading about. You can see Vedic period is only this, but now we consider Vedas applied to the whole Indian subcontinent. So how this change took place and all this thing you will be learning. Later Vedic period is this. So in this way, we will make history much more interesting, making you prepare for any competitive exam, as history is one of the most important GS or general knowledge for your any competitive exam. After your intermediate, if you're writing an NDA examination, if you're writing a CLAT examination, and or CUET, Common University Entrance Test, any examination, history is most important thing. And after degree, any competitive exam, whether it is your state exams like Group 1, Group 2, or central examinations like EPFO or UPSC based examinations, SSC, CGL examinations, any examinations you can go through once you understand history at Ignite IAS. And thank you.